Welcome to the Zera Shimshon in English podcast, in which we learn and explain in a clear and uncomplicated manner an excerpt from the Sefer Zera Shimshon on the Parsha. The author, Rabbi Shimshon Nachmani, had one child who died in his lifetime, hence the name Zera Shimshon. And in the preface to the Sefer, he gave a promise to people who learn his Torah. And your eyes will see children and grandchildren like the offshoots of an olive tree around your tables, wise and understanding, with houses filled with all manner of good things, and wealth and honor. Parshas Mattos Maasay. It is written in this week's Parsha, Ish ki yido neder l'Hashem. If a man makes a vow to Hashem, Oy hishova shavua, or takes an oath, lesser iser al nafsho, imposing an obligation on himself, Lo yachil dvoroi, he should not nullify his words. Kechol hayotze mipiv yaseh, he must carry out all that has crossed his lips. There are two halachas in Shulchan Aruch that seem to contradict each other. The Shulchan Aruch writes in Yeridea that if someone accepted on himself to learn a certain perek, and he's afraid that he will not keep his promise, he is permitted to make an oath, a neder, to motivate himself. The Taz asks, two halachas before this one, the Shulchan Aruch paskins that one should be careful not to make any neder, even to give stokah. Why, asks the Taz, is it also to motivate oneself with a neder to give stokah, while it is permitted to motivate oneself with a neder to learn a perek? The Taz answers, when one gives stokah, he's giving away something that is separate from the person, and the person feels detached from the money that he is giving. Therefore, there is a strong concern that even after one makes a neder, the Yetzer Hara can persuade him not to give the stokah, because he doesn't feel it's related to him. Shulchan Aruch therefore paskins that one should not make a neder, since there is a chance he may not keep it, and that'll be an aveira. However, since one learns a perek of Torah with his body, he takes it more seriously, and we therefore assume he will fulfill his neder. Consequently, there is no need to refrain from making the neder. Zera Shimshon quotes one of the poskim who argues with the Taz in light of the Gemara in Brachos that says, to fast is greater than giving stokah. The reason for this is that it's harder to do a mitzvah with your body than it is to do a mitzvah with your money. This seemingly contradicts the Taz, who said a person is more apt to do a mitzvah which he does with his flesh and bones than a mitzvah done with something external. Zera Shimshon initially defends the Taz and gives two reasons why it is more difficult to fast than to learn Torah. Firstly, the difficulty to fast is not because fasting is done with one's limbs, but simply because it is painful to fast. And physical pain is more difficult to handle than giving away one's money. However, the learning of Torah is not painful at all. On the contrary, after a person starts, that is actually enjoyable and makes a person happy. Secondly, a person can rationalize not to give tzedakah even after he makes a neder, because there is a chance that the recipient is an imposter. However, a parak of Torah learned is a parak Torah learned. And when he learned something, he definitely did a mitzvah. Even though Zera Shimshon defended the Taz, in truth, he completely rejected the Taz explanation based on the Taz's own reasoning. The Taz explains that it is easier to be persuaded not to give tzedakah than not to learn. If this is so, argues the Zera Shimshon, it should be also to make a neder to learn a parak Torah, because it simply isn't needed, and the neder is in vain. And the reverse is also true. If there is a concern that a person will not give the tzedakah he promised, then it would seem to follow that there is a mitzvah to make a neder, and not that it is usher. Zera Shimshon therefore gives his own alternative explanation to resolve the seeming contradiction in the Shulchan Aruch. When one makes an oath to give tzedakah, he has to give it immediately, since poor people are standing before him and they need the money right away. Therefore, it is very easy for the Yetzer Hara to prevent him from fulfilling his neder. He has to only distract him for a few moments, and then even if the person pushes back and gives it, it's too late. The Aveira was already done. Therefore, one should not make a neder to give the tzedakah. However, when it comes to other mitzvahs, there is not such a strong time constraint, and consequently, not such a big fear that his neder will cause him to do an aveira. Even concerning Talmud Torah, there are times when it can be put off, like we say in Kriyishma, and you should gather your produce. Therefore, since there is less chance that he won't fulfill his oath, it is permitted to make a neder to learn a parak in order to motivate him to do it.